Up first on tonight's show is Ms. Johnna Farmer. You may not know her face, but you certainly know her voice. From WABD iHeartRadio and 95 KSJ, it's Johnna Farmer.
Make myself comfy. Is that okay?
Yeah, well, and hopefully you'll be making yourself comfy for a few more shows. Huh?
I'm excited. Yeah, really excited.
So you're on the radio now, but you weren't. Just a few years ago. Tell us your story. How did all that come about?
Right. So I actually won my first radio job. It was a YouTube competition for the next Morning Girl. About 500 girls on the Gulf Coast. The video is still on YouTube, by the way, because I don't know the password to take it down. So you're welcome for that. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I was in radio for about a year and a half, then took a break, went to Austell in Mobile and worked in marketing there for quite a while between Mobile and Washington, D.C. Got a call to come back in radio, and sometimes you just have a calling. And now here I am.
What was radio something that you always wanted to do? Or in other words, when you were driving down the car and you said, I know I can do that? Because there are things that I've thought about that I was like, I know I can do that. I want to do that someday. I
always felt connected with entertainment. I've been a jokester and an entertainer my entire life. And yes, I would argue with people on the radio and say, that's not how you pronounce that name, or that's not where she got her start. So when I heard this ad for the new Morning Girl, I just figured, why not give it a shot? It would be fun, and I might actually be okay at it. So it's all about taking a risk, and turns out taking that one risk led me to a calling. As
Wayne Gretzky said, 100% of the shots you don't take do not go in.
Yes.
How many stations are you on currently now?
Currently 3. So I am on K99 Country in Biloxi every day, 10 to 3. I am on 95 KSJ every day before that show in the morning. And then Mix 99.9, which is our at-work station, family-friendly, on the weekends.
What would you say is probably your favorite aspect about being on the air?
The people. I love interacting with listeners, mostly because they're honest, for the most part, over social media. So sometimes, a while back, people were hesitant to call the radio stations because they didn't want their voice necessarily being recognized. And now with social media being such a tool, people are more active and respond more honestly. And I've formed relationships with people through radio via social media. One girl I met when she was 17 years old and in high school. I'm going to her baby shower next weekend. Like, we just formed a relationship. She was a listener and I was on the air, and I like the people. That's the best part about it.
Do you find that you get recognized by your voice alone? Like, are you in a place and you go to, like, you're in Walmart paying for something and you say thank you or something, and they go, hold on, I can't place you, but they recognize the voice, maybe not the face?
Absolutely. No one knows my face. No one knows what I look like, unless they've seen me on social media, which I'm very active on. But for the most part, I'll just, be in the grocery store and ask a question, and someone will say, where do I know you from? Just that odd feeling that you've met before, but you can't place it. And I don't talk about it unless I'm asked. I never use, I'm Johnna from the radio. Not my thing. But it happens.
What would you say is probably one of the craziest stories from being on the air that you remember?
From being on the air?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. I mispronounce things every single day. People call me out on it. Like yesterday, I said Canada instead of Canada just because I was rambling. But I don't know. Being on the air, I guess interviewing people that I never thought I would interview. John Mayer's the love of my life, and I got to, interact with him and really embarrassed myself in that conversation. He didn't know. He asked what my name was, and I froze and said, Johnna, like your name, but with "na." So that was my dorkiest moment for sure.
You've been really vocal about your fight against the stigmas in mental health.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I have a 12-year-old little girl, and I have, for the first time in my life, become very comfortable with talking about anxiety and depression. And I've left jobs before because of it, but never spoke to people about what was happening. And it took a lot for me to get where I am now. And through a lot of therapy and open conversations, I've traced it back to that's the age when it all started for me, was in middle school. And today with social media, things are even more intense. So I feel such a calling to be vocal. I do have a platform because of being on the radio. Why not use it to help other people? And if we can have these conversations and quit associating, mental health with crazy and things like that, then people are more likely to get help if they feel like it's not a bad thing to need help. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
And especially at middle school is just awkward and hard anyway. So if we can get to the youth and have these conversations early, maybe we can prevent them from going down paths that a lot of people have just because they were scared.
Now, what got you on the sofa is kind of an interesting thing.
It is.
So you posted something on social media that your life goal was to be on this show.
Yes.
So first of all, I'm wondering, this is a two-part question. One, how, why? And the other one is what triggered you to want to post that, first of all?
Okay, so first of all, someone at work shared with me that you were doing this show. And I immediately went to the page and started watching videos, and I got really excited about it. And then I started thinking, I have all of these ideas, and a lot of them just go down on paper, and I never follow through with them and just say that would be fun to do. You have done this. This is an idea that came to fruition, and I respect that. So I wanted to be a part of it. I was like, he's got something cool going on. It's funny. He's not taking himself too seriously. He's just entertaining people, doing something that he likes, and I want to be a part of it. So that night, I saw the video pop up, and I shared it, and I was like, and I am serious about this. So people started commenting, do it. We're going to make this happen. And then I got a comment from The Weekly Show with David J. Maloney and lost my ever-loving mind. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, and we talked a little bit about hopefully you joining us for a couple of other episodes, maybe as a trusty sidekick, maybe a little announcing for the show.
If you're good with bad jokes, I am all about it.
Well, then let's do it.
All right.
So we got a little mini partnership now. We'll be back after the break. Miss Johnna Farmer.